never forget to put the cancellation handler, because there may be scenarios which requires the user to which requires us to cancel your background task, and your app should be ready for that. Resource constant. All background tasks have CPU and network usage quotas. Quotas are based on actual usage instead of wall clock time limits. Although wall clock time is very familiar and the very familiar unit of time that we use, but the resource quota which is given to the background task is done on actual usage, actual CPU usage. For example, if your application is running on the background and which wants to get some data from internet, let's say it's downloading some data from bing.com, most of the time it will be waiting for a response from the bing.com. So it's not fair to charge your application when it's doing nothing but just waiting. So the more fairer usage or the more fairer calculation can be done on the actual usage of CPU. So that's why quotas or the resource quotas are based on the actual usage instead of the wall clock time limits. There's another concept called shared global pool where apps can request resources. Let's say you're having a VoIP call happening and you run out of your resource quota. We can't terminate the VoIP call now, can we? Because it's a bad user experience if we do so. So what we can do, what can be done is the app requests resources from a shared global pool of resources which is available, and so what happens is user can give the system can give these resources and the app can run in continuation. This all happens in very transparently. Developers are not even aware, the app's not even aware. The shared global pool resources from shared global pool is given. This is another concept called critical background task, which is basically the VoIP sloshing call capable background task, a critical background task, which receives the guaranteed resource quota of 2 CPU cycles. So these are important or a very critical background tasks, and hence we give them guaranteed resources. These are the resource quota value. I'm not going to read the values because these are well documented in the MSDN, but however I would want to take your attention on the left hand side, which says use PowerShell to use the resource usage of your background task. And second, test with global pool disabled. So before you submit your application for storage, store certification, it's a good idea to use the PowerShell command to see exactly how much resource is your application or the background task consuming, whether it is appropriate or not, how much, if you can reduce it in some way, you can increase in some way, and always test with the global pool disabled. So what will happen is, let's say your application runs out of your quota and you're counting on the global pool resource, but at that time global pool is giving its resource to some other application. So your application will come into the, so you won't be able to receive the resource, will you? So test your application with the global pool resource disabled, and try to check with PowerShell what is the resource, how much is the resource usage for your background task. Moving on, what's new in Windows 8.1? Nothing